Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So we are now doing part 3 of Surah Al-Kahf, and we'll read a story that is Musa alayhi salam and Khidr. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Musa alayhi salam was chosen as a prophet by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sent to help a special group of people called the Bani Israel in Egypt, who were having a really difficult time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed Musa alayhi salam with lots of knowledge about many things, and so Musa alayhi salam thought that as he was a special and chosen prophet, then surely he must have the most knowledge in the world. One day, when Musa alayhi salam stood up to give Bani Israel a speech, one of them asked him who is the most learned person among the people. Musa alayhi salam replied, I am. However, Allah Al-Alim, the All-Knowing, is the one who has knowledge of everything and everyone. Musa alayhi salam has not mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the source of all knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had other plans for Musa alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Musa alayhi salam about another man blessed with far more knowledge than him. Musa alayhi salam was very curious. He wanted to know who this person was and what kind of knowledge did he have that Musa alayhi salam didn't. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Musa alayhi salam that he could find this very intelligent man at a place where two seas meet. But that's a really big area. Musa alayhi salam was confused about how he would find the man. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded him to take a salted fish along with him, and when the fish got away from him, then he would know that he had reached the correct place. And so the adventure began. Musa alayhi salam and a younger helper boy called Yusha ibn Nun set off on the journey to find the knowledgeable man. Young Yusha put the salted fish in a pot and carried it along with them. They traveled far and finally arrived at the place where the two seas met. They were exhausted and fell asleep on a rock. When they slept, the fish jumped out of the pot that Yusha alayhi salam had put it in, and just then Yusha alayhi salam woke up. He saw the fish jump into the sea and swim away at super speed, leaving a tunnel-like trail behind it. And it took it away through the sea as in a tunnel, ayah 61. But then, when Musa alayhi salam and Yusha alayhi salam woke up, they continued their journey looking for meeting spot. Finally, when they stopped to rest, Musa alayhi salam asked Yusha to give him the fish so they could eat it. They must have been very hungry. Musa said to his boy, bring us our morning meal. We have certainly suffered in this, our journey. Ayah 62. He said, did you see when we retired to the rock? Indeed, I forgot the fish, and none made me forget it except Saturn, that I should mention it, and it took its course into the sea amazingly. That's ayah 63. They rushed back. Musa alayhi salam realized that they had come too far and had missed the meeting spot. So they quickly rushed back to where the fish had jumped into the sea, and they found khidr. And they found a servant from among our servants to whom we had given mercy from us and had taught him from us a knowledge. Musa alayhi salam introduced him to Khidr and asked if he could accompany him on his journey to learn something from the knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had blessed him with. Khidr wasn't very keen, as he told Musa alayhi salam he would not have the patience to travel with him without questioning him about everything. But Musa alayhi salam replied, you will find me, if Allah wills, patient, and I will not disobey you in any order. Right? So Al-Khidr agreed to take him along as long as Musa alayhi salam didn't ask him anything at all. They set off, walking along the shore until a ship passed them. The crew on the ship recognized Al-Khidr and so led them aboard without charge. When they were on board the boat, a sparrow came and stood on the edge of the boat and dipped its beak once or twice into the sea. Al-Khidr said to Musa, O Musa, my knowledge and your knowledge have not decreased Allah's knowledge, except as much as the sparrow has decreased the water of the sea with its beak. Whilst on board Musa alayhi salam, now Al-Khidr saw Al-Khidr ripping out one of the ship's plank. He was ripping, he was shocked, so he questioned Al-Khidr about it. Have you torn it open to drown its people? You have certainly done a grave thing. Al-Khidr reminded Musa alayhi salam about his promise and lack of patience. Musa alayhi salam was sorry and explained that he had forgotten his promise. Secondly, after they left the boat, Al-Khidr and Musa were walking along the shore. They saw a boy playing with his friend. Suddenly, Al-Khidr grabbed the boy and killed him. Oh my God. Musa alayhi salam was absolutely horrified. Again, he questioned Al-Khidr about his terrible action. Al-Khidr reminded Musa alayhi salam about his promise and lack of patience once again. Musa alayhi salam was quite embarrassed and agreed that if he questioned him again, then Al-Khidr was within his rights to stop Musa alayhi salam traveling with him any further. Finally, Al-Khidr and Musa alayhi salam continued on the journey and arrived at a town. They were hungry and so asked the people for some food, but they refused to give the travelers anything. There they found a crumbling wall on the verge of collapse. Al-Khidr reinforced the wall and set it straight again. This really confused Musa alayhi salam, and he couldn't help questioning why Al-Khidr had fixed the wall for free when he could have asked for payment, especially as the town people had been so unhospitable to them. Al-Khidr had enough. He told Musa alayhi salam that he had broken his promise yet again and so could not travel any further with him. But first, Al-Khidr explained all his actions to Musa alayhi salam before he left him. Can you guess why Al-Khidr took the actions he did? Okay, I'll tell you. Here goes. There was a king who took all good ships away from the people who owned them. The people who owned the ship Al-Khidr had damaged were poor, and so by damaging their ship, Al-Khidr had, in fact, saved it for them from the terrible king. Ayah 79, right? The parents of the young boy were good people who believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, while their son was a disbeliever who would have made life difficult for his parents. Al-Khidr had killed him to save the good people from him and hoped that Allah would replace him with someone better. Ayah 80 and 81. The wall had belonged to orphans who lived in the town. Their parents had been good believing people, and because of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept their treasure safe beneath the wall so that when they grew older, they could get it and make use of it. This was a mercy and blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is Ayah 82. Al-Khidr had done everything because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had willed it to happen. He could have done any of it by himself or from his own knowledge. So how many did you guess? So what did we learn from this story? No matter what, we must worship only Allah Al-Khaliq. We must understand that Allah Al-Alim is the all-knowing with knowledge of everything that has happened and that will happen. Allah will always protect His people. Don't be quick to judge other people. We don't have knowledge of everything. We must put our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We might not understand what is happening or why it's happening, but we must be patient and content with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's will. Be careful of shaitan, who is always trying to trick us and make us forget. Don't forget the promises we make. Always stick to a promise made. No matter how clever we think we are, always remember it's a mercy and blessing from Allah. Remember, there is always someone who is more knowledgeable than us, so be humble. Don't ever stop learning and seeking knowledge. Seek as much knowledge as you can and pass it on. Knowledge of the Quran is the best knowledge. The power of dua, obviously, always make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase us in knowledge, right?